How to make spiritual progress without crushing your spouse. An excerpt from the Spiritual Counsels of St. Paisios the Athonite, Volume 4, Family Life. Geronda, if a husband doesn't live spiritually, what should his wife do? She should entrust him to Christ and pray that his heart be softened. Eventually, little by little, Christ will descend in his heart, and he will start speculating. As soon as his heart is somewhat softened, then she can ask him, for example, to drive her to church. She shouldn't say to him, "Come to church with me," but, "Can you please take me as far as the church?" If he takes her all the way to church, then he might say to himself, "I've come this far. Why don't I go inside and light a candle?" In this way, little by little, he may make progress. Geronda, can the wife's spiritual father also help the husband in some way? Sometimes, in order to help the husband, the spiritual father needs to help the wife develop her spiritual life. The good will then be transmitted from the wife to the husband, and if he has a good heart, God will help him to change. Women are pious by nature, but once a man, after being somewhat indifferent towards church, takes a spiritual turn, not even his wife can keep up with him. She may even begin to feel a little envy for not making as much progress as he does. This is why I advise the husbands to be careful in such cases. Because, what happens? As the husband makes spiritual progress, the wife, if she is not also living a spiritual life, may become contrary. If the husband says, "It's getting late, get up, let's go to church," she will tell him, "Go by yourself. Don't you see how much housework I have to do?" Or, if the husband says, "Great, you've kept the oil vigil lamp unlit." Or if he goes to light it himself, she may be offended and start yelling, "What, are you a priest now? Are you a monk?" She may even say, "Why do we bother to light the oil vigil lamp? It would be better if we gave the oil to some poor person." The situation can get to the point of such Protestant notions. Naturally, she may regret the excuse she made, but she is also envious of her husband's progress. In these cases, it's 1,000 times better to leave the oil vigil lamp unlit than for the husband to light it. So, to keep a family from falling apart, I advise the husbands, when the right moment comes, tell your wife, "If I go to church and pray a little and do some prostrations, or if I read some spiritual book, I'm not doing this out of an abundance of devotion, but only as a means of self-restraint, to keep me from being led astray by our wretched society and getting involved with bad company." If the husband handles this carefully, then the wife will be happy and may even go on to outdo her husband spiritually. But if he is careless and insensitive, he'll crush her. They might even end up divorcing. If the husband wants to help his wife spiritually, he should try to introduce her to some family that lives a spiritual life, with a particularly devout mother and wife, one that she can imitate.